Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Chasing Chevy Chase podcast. I am one of your hosts, Chris Dashiu of the Culture Cast, and I am joined still, as always, by my two good friends all the way from Cambridge and Sean, Mark Begley.
And why is the carpet all wet, Todd?
I don't know, Margot. One of the best reaction lines in the entire movie. And the gentleman who I think this is why Mark Begley and I are here. Let's put it that way. Your friend and mine. He's never seen this movie before, folks. Mike White of the Projection Booth.
I think you mean burn rubber and eat my dust.
Exactly.
Whatever, Russ.
And yes, if you clicked on this episode of the Chasing Chevy Chase podcast, you know that we're talking about the seminal Christmas classic, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, a film that, yes, our dear friend Mike White has not seen before, which I think is the one thing that would get me to talk about this movie on a podcast, because I'm not sure offhand I had much to offer about a movie I've seen every year for the last 35 fucking years of my life. So I don't talk about movies like The Santa Claus very often either, and this is kind of in that camp of a movie I've seen so much I can quote most of the at least the important scenes verbatim, as I'm sure maybe Mark Begley can as well. But yes, on this episode of the Chasing Chevy Chase podcast, we're talking about 1989's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. So the film is written by, God damn it, my eyes are fucking up right now. Hold on. I move this to my center screen. Old man eyes at the moment. Film is directed by Jeremiah S. Chechik. Is that how we're going to say it? Is that how it's pronounced?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Jeremiah S. Chechik, written by the one and only John Hughes, and it's based on characters by John Hughes, the characters that we've already seen played by Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo in two prior National Lampoon's films. And the film does once again center on the Griswold family, headed up by Chevy Chase's Clark Griswold, who wants to put on the ultimate family Christmas by having both his family and his wife's family in town for the holidays, and things go awry almost immediately. So before we get to Mike's thoughts, Mark Begley, what, when, how many times even? Because it ain't just once, I wager.
Yeah, I don't know when I first saw this. Have no recollection. Sometime in, I don't even want to say the early 90s, because I was watching weird movies at that point. I had no interest in this when it came out because I hadn't liked European Vacation. Didn't generally go see Christmas movies in the theater. That's never been my thing. And probably caught it on cable or something in the late 90s and was pleasantly surprised at how good it was compared to the second film. Not so surprised if I compared to the first film, I guess. But it's not an annual staple, but I have watched it a good, I'm sure, 10 or so times over the years. And it's one of my favorites of the Chevy Chase films that we have discussed thus far. I thoroughly enjoy it. I think it's well made, it's paced well, and we've recovered from the disaster of European Vacation for sure. And I think that Chevy Chase is in fine form in this, and still the main focus of the vacation films, but we've got a lot of people to fill in the blank spots, I guess. And it's nice to see so many wonderful faces in this. The supporting cast is fantastic, and it's just it's one of those good, solid John Hughes film for me.
Yeah, I'd be inclined to agree with most of the objective statements about the film that you made, especially it's a good John Hughes movie. All right, Mike, I think, at least I know I'm curious, I'm sure Mark is.
Yeah.
What did you think of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Mike?
So it's interesting how much of this movie has made its way into my consciousness, even without having ever seen it. It's one of those things where, it's like when people finally see Casablanca and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I know this line. Oh, I've seen this before in another movie, those kind of things. This is definitely one where I was like, oh, like when they bring the tree home for Christmas, I was like, I think there's a squirrel in that tree, right? There's a squirrel. It's not that tree, it's another tree. But I was like, okay, I know that. I had a coworker who came in when on ugly Christmas sweater day and his sweater said, I don't know, Margot, very big on it. And he was saying, yeah, my wife's got one that says, why is the floor all wet, Todd? So it's like, there are all of these things, or like my family, my wife's family, almost every time they get together, there's always talk of Christmas Vacation. There's this whole debate between my father-in-law and my, I guess, uncle-in-law, where they're going back and forth, like, oh, you're Eddie. No, you're Eddie. No, you're Eddie. And I'm like, okay, yeah, like these guys are definitely talking about Christmas Vacation. They're not talking about the original Vacation, because Eddie's in that one, not in European Vacation, which might have maybe made it better had Eddie come along with them and explored some of, maybe like have some bad experiences with the bidet or something. I don't know. But it was strange to be able to see all of this stuff and then see all of the pieces around it that I wasn't aware of whatsoever. So like the whole thing with the Christmas tree taking over the living room, or even who Todd and Margot are. But I have to say, I don't think it's very well put together. Like it feels like it's missing a lot of stuff. And I went through and I read the script, and the script is pretty much identical to what we ended up seeing in the movie, even with the whole advent calendar transition sequence that they have. It's very similar to that, but it's like, who are Todd and Margot? Have we had experiences with Todd and Margot before? No. The end of the movie seems incredibly rushed once Brian Doyle Murray comes back into the film. And then we have the whole thing with the sewer gas and all of that stuff. It just feels very, very rushed towards the end of this movie. And that also might play because there are two scenes that are missing from the end of the film where there's more of a wrap up. And they just kind of, stop with Clark saying, I did it. And then that's it. And I never really got the sense that I never got Clark's motivation. Like you were talking about, Chris, as far as like, oh, he wants to get these two families to come together. I don't think he really likes the families. Yeah, I think he likes his mom and dad. I don't think he likes.
I mean, literally. I meant literally come together. More than nothing, just literally, because they do not get along. Correct.
Right, but it's like I'm like, is he really super excited for the holidays? Like, and it's also a little.
Well, he always overdoes it. He always overdoes it. And they do. I mean, that is the one thing I appreciate about this movie that the other movies kind of haven't mentioned, is that Clark has no ability to not be like, I don't know, is it a perfectionist is kind of what they're getting at, or his expectations are always out of whack with what reality is going to be? I mean, we saw it a little bit in the original Vacation where he goes apeshit at the end. We saw it in European Vacation where, I mean, he drags his family to Europe and then, I mean, everything goes awry. I don't know if he's trying to get his family together. I don't know. I guess, I don't know.
I get it a lot from those other movies, especially the original Vacation, where it's just like, hey, we are going on this vacation. By the way, calling this movie Christmas Vacation is pretty bad form, because there's vacation happening in here.
Well, it's
Christmas Vacation, and that's the end of the year vacation we all get for Christmas, but that's like 2 days for most people now.
Yeah.
Most people don't get any time off. Like they're,
Also, being a corporate drone, I will tell you, do not count on your Christmas bonus.
Yeah.
Clark is such an asshole for putting $7,000 down. By the way, $7,000. This has to be an in-ground pool, because an above-ground pool these days, 2025, it's costing about $5,000 to put that sucker together. Nice 12 by 24 pool, but $7,000 as a deposit for this pool. And yeah, don't fucking ever count on your bonus. So Brian Doyle Murray was totally within his rights as a corporate overlord to keep that bonus out of the hands of bootlickers.
Yeah. Whoa. So white, everybody. What is going on?
If any of the people on my team at work said like, oh yeah, I made this deposit because I'm counting on this bonus. Oh, you're fucking stupid.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah. That's some clown shit.
I don't count on anything until I see it in my.
You know what they say? There's no such thing as a sure thing. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. John Cusack will tell you that. But yeah, it's interesting how this movie doesn't really fit together for me with some of this, and just how quickly some things resolve. And yeah, it just feels kind of thrown together, even though when I was reading the script, I was like, okay, yeah, this is pretty good. And like, they really stuck to the script, like a lot. Like I said, just maybe a little bit. It's Clark is singing at one point. He does the whole, and not singing, but he does the, Night Before Christmas poem, because they're talking about that And he doesn't, I don't think he actually says it in this version of the movie that we see, but there is that in the script. And he eventually looks outside, and then he starts to turn Night Before Christmas into my, cousin Eddie is here with my boss wearing a chain and a bow and all this kind of stuff. And I mean, that was interesting that Eddie does that for Clark, but yeah, it was just, it's a strange movie to me. And there are some great parts. I will agree with you completely, Mark, that I think this is probably the best Chevy Chase thing that we've seen thus far. I think this really nails it, and he gives probably his best performance. I mean, that freak out that he had in the first movie when they couldn't go to Wally World was fantastic. But him giving that whole little rant after he finds out that he's enrolled in the Jelly of the Month Club, that is fucking classic. And of course, I've heard that many times before. The whole hallelujah, where's the Tylenol thing? That is fucking awesome.
Yeah. Well, that rant, and then the second rant about, Bing Crosby dancing with Danny fucking Kaye. That's my favorite line from the movie. You have to wait till the end of the film to get to it, but he seems more present in this than the last two or three things we've watched, at least. Yeah. And, the connection that he and Beverly D'Angelo have as these two characters is always enjoyable. And her, I don't know how to properly, this is what she married, and she loves him, and it's all good. But at one point she's drinking the eggnog there towards the end of the movie, and she just throws the whole glass into the into the bushes, and I'm like, that kind of sums it up perfectly for me. Their relationship, and whatever he's gonna do, whatever he's gonna do, and go overboard. As Chris mentioned, everything he has to overdo. When have I ever overdone anything, Russ? He says at some point. And I guess it's oddly structured, and I think that comes with the idea of the ensemble and having so many people in this one. And
we're still forever to realize that Diane Ladd was even in this movie. She's like so backgrounded for so long. It wasn't until the flashback, and I was like, that looks like Diane Ladd when she's in Wild at Heart and playing Lulu's mom, like
same thing.
Then I was like, oh wait, yeah, that is like John Randolph. I got right away. E.G. Marshall, Doris Roberts. Great. Of course, William Hickey, and then even was it Betty Boop? Betty Boop, totally. But I was like, who is that woman? Then finally, I was like, oh, okay. And dude, you're married to Beverly D'Angelo, who in my book is 10, 100 times maybe, but not to disparage Nicolette Scorsese, who I had to look up, no relation to Martin Scorsese, but she's attractive, but she's not that attractive, and she's nowhere near Beverly D'Angelo. Beverly D'Angelo is one of the hottest women that's ever lived.
Yeah, I think every time we watch one of these, we come to the same conclusion as like, why would he be goofing with other women when
when you got that at home?
Oof. Well, I'll tell you, the final vacation film of the original ones finally does something I think a little bit more interesting and different with that. I think at times this movie is very successful, and at other times this movie feels like an Al Jaffe sketch, collection of sketches, vignettes. And that was the thing I kind of, again, this time watching it, because yes, I've seen this a lot. I mean, almost every year at this point. The lack of connective tissue between a lot of the scenes hurts this movie, because you could just watch a lot of it completely out of order. This scene takes place chronologically after the scene and ties up what happens in this prior scene. But in terms of the overall narrative, it does nothing. It could be placed literally anywhere. And they even have a kind of a pseudo framing device with the days before Christmas as a way to kind of explain or get you, the audience, to come along with the filmmakers. I mean, it's a good movie. It's a comedy from the 80s, so I don't expect much. However, to Mike's point, and to your point, Mark, it's a movie that has kind of seared itself into at least the public conscious or the pop culture zeitgeist of a fair amount of people. It's not a small amount of people. It's not as much as it used to be. I don't know how much this movie is being brought along by people my age and younger, because that's the requirement is, people either y'all's age or my age continuing to get movies like this to be watched and not replaced by other Christmas movies. I'm not saying other Christmas movies aren't better. This is just, a Christmas movie for a certain age of person. I'm not sure how this movie would play with someone in their teens, other than like the family of it all, which I get. And like that's kind of what this movie traffics in, is like the holidays are fucked because families tend to be overwhelming. And like I think that's probably where the lasting appeal of the movie is that kind of easy equation, because they get a lot of mileage out of it. But I disagree with y'all. I understand where you're coming from, though. I think that for me, Fletch is still the better Chevy Chase performance. In terms of the vacation movies, this is the best performance that he gives of the vacation movies. I don't know. I still walk away from Fletch going, I believe this. I mean, I believe him more in Fletch. And in this movie, again, it's a little bit of a put on. Like Chevy Chase is an asshole in Fletch, and it works. In this movie, like, I just have a hard time buying him as an asshole. Other than this, like, self-inflicted assholery, which is seemingly what's going on and has been going on in all these movies. Because, again, to Mike's point, why are you fucking around on Beverly D'Angelo, bozo? Like, what the hell?
Well, he never fucks around.
He goes, my wife's divorced and dead. He says it. I mean, he says it. It's in the subtitle.
Just to be clear,
you know what I mean?
Just to be clear, I didn't mean to say, if it came out that way, that this is the best Chevy Chase thing we've seen. Just that for the last 4 or 5 films that we've watched,
that's fair.
This is by far and one of the more enjoyable films that we've watched for the show. I definitely don't think it's better than the first National Lampoon's Vacation. I don't necessarily think it's better than Caddyshack. There are a lot that it's better than, but for enjoyment for me, I could easily watch this every year. Half of the films that we've watched for this show, I will never watch again, regardless of Chevy Chase's performance in them. Even it's just some of them are really awful movies. Despite or because of him, doesn't really matter. But I about halfway through the movie, I'm like, what is this? What is this reminding me of? This whole scenario of these two sides of the family in the house, grandparents specifically. And I was like, oh yeah, this is Pretty in Pink times Vacation.
Well,
it's almost the
candles too with the.
I mean, 16 Candles, not Pretty in Pink. That's what I meant. 16 Candles. Yeah. Both sides of the family coming in, taking over the kids' rooms, sleeping in the kids' beds for this big event, and the two different kinds of families that they are. One's always kind of trashy and the other is classy, and you don't get so much.
Get that from this movie.
Well, we get it from Cousin Eddie, but that's it.
We get it from
Cousin Eddie, but Cousin Eddie's trashy to begin with. Like, Cousin Eddie is unto himself his own thing. Like he shows up, almost halfway through the movie.
His appearance is perfect, though. His appearance, that's one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, it's the best part of the movie. Too.
Yeah, so. That's the and I was gonna say, and that is my problem with this movie, is this is for me much more this is one of my favorite Randy Quaid performances, and that's coming from someone who considers Freak to be one of his favorite movies. A performance that in that movie is, everything about that performance in Freak is wild. But Cousin Eddie in this movie, every line that he has for the most part, or the mannerisms, there's that scene where they're drinking the eggnog together and he's just in Chevy Chase's space, like up in his face. And you can just tell that Chevy Chase is like, get out of my fucking space. Not obviously as the actor, but as the character. And one of my favorite lines in the movie is, I would be even more surprised if I woke up tomorrow and my head was sewn to the carpet, which again, perfectly encapsulates how someone like Cousin Eddie makes you feel at the holidays, which is like, oh my God, what is this like psychotic person capable of? I have no idea, but I am unfortunately now in their orbit for a small period of time. And that is Cousin Eddie.
He was not invited. So that,
that's true.
He wasn't trying to get the whole family together to have this Griswold family Christmas, but here he is. I love that he mentions their older kids.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah,
which kind of
since we have it's 2 new kids here.
Yeah, it's
Griswolds. Yeah,
so that kind of reinforces my thought that it's sort of a gag to have the swapping out of the kids all the time. I guess until we get to Vegas Vacation.
I mean,
Doesn't the original Audrey return for that?
No.
No.
It's two
It's
more.
the one.
It's two more
Yeah.
people. It's Ethan Embry and I forget what the other actress's name.
She does return though for the one that I think is just solely Randy Quaid.
Yes.
Christmas Vacation 2. Yeah.
Yes. Hawaiian Island Adventures.
Yes.
Yeah, she returns for that. But
Which,
anyway,
by the way, we did not require as a watch for this because
and we're not including that. So don't get any bright ideas.
Because
Sonny Boy.
Well, here's the thing: it doesn't have Chevy Chase. So
Right.
That's the problem. Like it is the best example of the worst kind of movie being made around the early 2000s, which is a quote comedy sequel unquote to a comedy that nobody asked for a sequel to, because I don't know what is left to be said with this movie that the next movie doesn't say is the funnier part, because there's another movie in between now and then, like with Cousin Eddie and Chevy Chase and everything. Like it's with the actress from Vegas Vacation who plays Audrey in that movie. So it's so bizarre. It makes zero sense.
Well, it's the whole thing. You have to see the scene where Fred Willard is injecting Randy Quaid with what was it, like toxic waste to see how he fares against the monkey playing tic-tac-toe, which I'm curious if that's a nod to modern problems. I was curious if all the sludge coming out of the sewer here is a nod to modern problems as well. As soon as I saw the green sludge, I was like, oh, you better be careful. You might get psychic abilities if that gets on you. But to go back to what you're saying before, just to also clarify, I don't think this is the best Chevy Chase.
Okay, so I misinterpreted y'all then.
I just think that his performance is really fully formed. And I can see where you're coming from. Like, I like Fletch as a character and as a movie a lot better than this. I will definitely watch Fletch again before I watch this movie, which much to the chagrin of my in-laws, apparently, because they like to watch this one. And they also watch Home Alone. I was getting a lot of Home Alone vibes from this as well, of course, because of the John Hughes angle, I guess. And Chicago, even though this is fake Chicago.
Oh,
that real Chicago.
Right.
Sure is fake, isn't it? My God.
So is the snow. The snow is as fake as you can possibly get in this movie.
Except in the opening scene.
Oh, you mean the animated sequence?
No. The tree. Yeah, hey, didn't we talk? What did we talk about an animated sequence for last?
Funny Money.
Oh,
Funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah. You watch this movie and you think, or I think about Funny Money, and I'm just like, oh my God, because it's kind of the same thing. It's a house where there's a lot of people running around.
Right.
That one again felt so much like a play, and the outside felt so much like, the backlot kind of thing.
Yeah.
But this is so much better. And you like, oh, just thinking about
the relief.
Lunacy of like, the wife getting drunk and the mob.
Yeah. Let's not stop reminding me.
So much happier with this, and I'm glad, like, Nicholas Guest didn't turn out to be a secret mobster or some horse shit like that. Instead, he's just an asshole. That's all he is.
Yeah, they're just a foil for his.
Oh yeah,
they're there to put a pin on his.
They're the Margaret Dumas to his Marx Brothers.
Yeah, do we need to know their history? No, not really. It's obvious that they've lived there for a while and know that he's a goon, and they're straight-laced and uptight, and that's just what you have to deal with when you live around other people, unfortunately.
When you live in the suburbs of 1980s.
Yeah. That opening, see, this is the thing for me.
We're talking about the Christmas tree hunt.
The Christmas tree.
The weird
opening scene.
That attack them and stuff that never come back. Yeah.
That stunt just always blows me away. I love it when he pulls under that semi-truck. And there are moments in this movie that are so perfectly comedically timed that I appreciate. And they come, every 10 minutes or so, there's one. So that's the first one for me. And of course, they're kind of recreation of the famous crash in the desert that they do in the first one. But they end up in the right spot this time, luckily. And, the whole thing of getting the tree and walking through the actual real snow in Colorado for that scene. But the other one that involves the snow is this never fails to get a huge laugh out of me, is the sled and using this. It's just it's going to go fast, but the way that they did that is so perfectly ridiculously fast. Just splits like I don't even know, 1.00001% of a second, and he's just gone. And it gets me every time. And so those little nuggets throughout the film, his performance being spot on in this one. And I gotta disagree on a personal level. He will always be Clark Griswold to me. The Fletch stuff is not what I grew up with watching or whatever. And I know it's I always understand what you're saying, Chris, is that this fits his personality more, the Fletch stuff.
The person of Chevy Chase.
You don't buy him as a dad, but I for me, that's the whole point of the Griswold family, is that he's not a good dad and he's not necessarily a good husband. He's not awful. He's not, he doesn't beat these people or anything like that, but he's out of his element and overdoes it. And I think that's kind of why he overdoes it, is because this is not who he really is. And that to me works. He's sort of the perfect guy to not be a good dad, right? Because you don't see Chevy Chase. And as I discussed on one of the episodes, apparently he is, though, a girl dad. He's got like 3 girls. He's been married to his wife for decades. And that's always a surprise to me to think about. Like, you don't hearing all these awful stories about Chevy Chase from just about everybody that he's worked with. And you're like, he must be just horrendous at home. And apparently he's not. So, but those little touches throughout the film, that the cat blowing up, is just, again, so it's like perfectly timed. The whoosh of the fire when the uncle sets off the stories, the Christmas tree, that stuff tickles me, and why I think I like this as much as I do.
Well, apparently Chris Columbus was supposed to direct this. I think it's just like, I had such a bad time when I met Chevy Chase. I don't want anything to do with them. Can you guys tell me a little bit about the attic stuff? Because I think there were 2 attic scenes in the script, and that might just be one attic script or one attic scene in the movie. He finds all those old gifts. Did he forget those up there? Is that what we're supposed to gather?
Yeah. Like he did this, he's done this before, hiding, and he's hid them so well that he hasn't remembered to go back and get them.
Yeah.
All right. I was very confused by that. I was just like, why are these Mother's Day gifts up here? Why hasn't he given those to Beverly D'Angelo?
Yeah. That's my understanding of it, is that he does this and then he doesn't remember to go get the gifts or he can't find them because he's hid them so well. All he has to do is walk up the steps and put them up there. I mean, no one else is going to be going up in the attic, right? So I don't know why he has to find a little crevice to shove them in. Yeah. And that's really the only scene where we get the typical slapstick humor from him with the boards, and I don't mind that scene so much.
Well, there's the ladder scene as well.
Well, yeah,
looked very much like a certain friend of mine who recently had an
right when he pulled that out, I was like, oh yeah, there's ladder play in this. And I wasn't on that kind of it even. I wasn't on that kind of ladder, but and not quite that high, but just about, when I had my little accident. So it was actually kind of giving me anxiety watching those scenes.
Wow, which I totally believe. Yeah, 100%.
That attic scene is also where we get to see Clark kind of reconnecting with his past with those home movies and everything. But again, it's just like, well, okay. It's weird because, I don't know, maybe it is the assholishness of Chevy Chase that's keeping me from really connecting with him as far as being like very into Christmas, because there are some people that are really into Christmas. Like, I've got a coworker who it's like October 1st and she'll be like, okay, it's now so and so many days to Christmas. It's like, lady, you need to wait. We haven't even hit Halloween yet. We are nowhere near Thanksgiving. Like, maybe wait till November 1st. But even then, like with the local radio stations around here, when they start pumping out their Christmas music, it's literally November 1st. I'm like, no. Day after Thanksgiving, then you are allowed, but not 1 minute beforehand.
Yeah, it's not even that. Yeah, it's not even that. We don't even get the sense of that with Chevy Chase. Like that, I think, Mike, to your point, maybe my biggest missed opportunity is of all the things and places for them to go, this is what you decided on.
Yeah, staying at home.
Yeah, staying at home. I mean, like, again, I get it. There is plenty to be mined at home. I'm not saying there isn't. Like, we barely see their home life in any of the other movies. 2 for Jack. 1 for Clark. We saw that in European Vacation, and then we saw a little bit of their home life in the first movie when they were going to buy the car from Eugene Levy in actual Chicago in that movie, not fake Chicago in this movie. I think that's probably one of my biggest kind of peeves about this movie is, like you said, the vacation of it all. It does kind of almost feel like it should have just been its own thing, but then what do you call it when you've got Chevy Chase doing? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, again,
you're stuck with the title. I mean, there's no getting around that.
Yeah, 100% stuck with the title. And it almost makes, to your point, both of your points, like it makes me wish that Eddie had been in European Vacation, because it might have salvaged that movie, which, I mean, again, I enjoyed it more than y'all, but even having Randy Quaid in it a little bit would have been great. And they clearly understand that, because they brought him back for this movie. And this is only the third Vacation. So he's in 2 of the 3 so far, and he's in the next one. So he's in 3 of the 4. So European Vacation ends up being, aside from the new remake, which is the one I'm leaving out, he's in 3 of the 4 Vacation movies. So his not being in the European Vacation film does hurt that film overall 100%. Because again, I think the best lines in this movie are Cousin Eddie's. I think the best characterization is Cousin Eddie, because I believe that character 100%. Like, that is Randy. Like, that's just Randy Quaid. Like you said, Mark, with the sledding, where he's just like, bingo, like, get some real nice, Clark, like shit like that. Those lines.
He warned him.
Yeah, like those lines and that performance from Randy Quaid is just, it's fantastic. But there is a issue again of this movie just kind of not feeling like a movie, but more just like a bunch of vignettes. Because they go sledding, they go to, like, what Christmas boxes can we check? Let's check them is kind of what this movie feels like. Which I mean, there are episodes of The Simpsons where they go to other countries and we have the same problem. Same with the vacation movies. It's like, at what point are we hewing to the formula? No pun intended.
It's not a story. It's not a 3-act structured film, these movies. And I'm fine with that. I don't have to have that in every movie I watch.
It's a vibe. Movie's a vibe more than anything else.
Right. And
put it on,
so
and it's a vibe.
They throw in the bonus thing as our whatever. It's not a red herring, but
it's the through line of the movie, definitely.
As much as there is the pool.
Yeah, exactly. Which, sorry, real quick, don't mean to interrupt you, Mark, but when he is looking out at the pool area and starts to have fantasies about that, and then the Mary from the store, the Scorsese character, comes back again in that fantasy, totally like Phoebe Cates from Phoebe Cates. Oh shit! What's her name from Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Evan Klein's wife.
Yeah, it so reminded me of that scene. But when that little girl is downstairs and surprises him, I really expected him to turn away from that window and somehow for us to know that he's got a massive erection. I mean, totally inappropriate, but I'm just like, I really was expecting that, like, when he's pressed up against that window, I was just like, man, he's probably fucking that wall right now. Think about that chick. But no, and that becomes the sweetest scene of the movie is him with that little girl.
Yeah, and I was thinking the same thing. And there is one point when her eyeline kind of goes down, and I was expecting like a shocked face. And I'm glad they didn't do that, because it would be wildly inappropriate with a child that age in the scene. But at one point, it does look like she looks that way. And I was like, oh, and then it cuts like super fast. I'm like, maybe they shot something weird and decided not to use it. I don't know. But yeah, that would have been interesting for whatever. I don't even know what this film was rated. They get an F word in, so I'm assuming it's PG-13. We don't get Beverly D'Angelo's tits in this one, so it's not R. But
no,
I didn't get Beverly D'Angelo's tits in last one either. It was only the first.
We didn't. It was just an implied tittage.
Yeah, it was the flashing in the video, but we don't actually see it. Yeah,
right. And there were the naked gals in the club that they go to, but I still think that one was not R either, if I'm not mistaken.
It was not.
Just the first one.
Like all those breasts from Airplane too. It's still PG. It's fine.
Yeah, but by 89, I think if they had 4 pairs of boobs in this, they would have been pushing it.
We've been through 2 Reagan administrations, and we're in a Bush administration now. Yeah.
And hey, you know what? We're also, somehow in one day talking about a movie where they have Julia Louis-Dreyfus as the villain. Likewise.
Yeah, that's interesting.
We're all the way
she's
here
gonna
in
be the
2025.
Is she
Or I guess,
villain in
well, she's, I mean, again, like, that's the
Asterisk?
asterisk. I mean, again, like, that's the trailer. That's the only trailer that I'd
Right.
see. That's the only trailer I saw is that she's in the movie. So
She doesn't seem like
she is
a nice person.
She's a Marvel villain, isn't? I mean, the
Yeah,
stuff that
I
I've
believe-
seen her in
yeah.
so far, the show, I can't remember what show she's in. And
Captain America and Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. Yeah.
Or Falcon and Winter Soldier, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she shows up at the end of Black Widow, and I think she's in a couple other things. And it's like, what? I don't know what her motivation is. I don't know who her character is, but it's so. I mean, this is pre-Seinfeld, Julie Louis.
Right, she's mean.
Post SNL. Oh, she's fantastic.
Yeah, she's great. I mean, like, I like mean, like, more to the point, again, not to ruin anything, like, I like mean Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Like, she's really good when they let her just be mean. She plays bitchy really, really, really well.
Oh,
I didn't realize that Christopher Guest had a brother. Now I can't unsee it. I looked at. I didn't realize
brother. Yeah,
every once in a while I see it on the face, but not that much. Like
he's the nose.
Yeah.
Look on his IMDb page though, because that's how I realized it. I'm like, Nicholas Guest as Todd, and I'm like, who's Todd? Yeah, I hadn't watched the movie yet, and I'm like, boy, he sure looks like Christopher Guest. And sure enough, and it's in this, it's hard to tell.
Was it a Walter Hill movie where it's like all the guys playing?
Yes, all the brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he in that too? Was it the guest?
Yeah, and Randy Quaid and Dennis Quaid as well.
Jeez. Yeah, we're getting the brothers.
The Carradine brothers, and I remember seeing that on TV years ago and loving it. It's probably horse crap, but I loved it then. I'm like, oh, they got all the brothers together. Anyway, they look a lot alike in certain angles. It's like, oh yeah, I totally see it now.
Yeah,
I would have never guessed that in a million years though, just watching the movie.
And I love the ice missile. It's one of my favorite gags in all.
That's another one.
The
timing on those things is just is perfect. That thing just bazookas out of there and crashes through the window. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
even
parts of this movie that are just, it's part of the pop, like the Wally World glasses. That's like a thing now. I mean, you can buy that in earrings. You can buy that as an ornament. You can buy it like literally to have like I have a pair of Clark Griswold Christmas Vacation socks. Like, and one foot is him with like the Santa outfit on, and the other one is that like jacket that he's wearing with the pajamas that have the dinosaurs on. I'm like, that's again, like this is a movie that has kind of, again, parts of it have transcended the movie itself, like beyond what the movie ever could have anticipated.
I had no idea. Like, I listened to We Hate Movies, the podcast, and there were so many times where Andrew Jupin says, "Bend over and I'll show you." And I'm like,
which I say fairly often as well.
Yeah, exactly. And
I say that fairly often as well, Mike.
Yeah. And there's the line. I'm like, oh, okay.
I say that, but it has nothing to do with this movie.
Oh, that's
Jesus
true. That's true. Yeah. I really even like the reveal of Cousin Eddie, that they get the lights all lit up, and then that great thing where it's going around and hugging everybody, and he's so happy about stuff, and then they comes over and it says hello to Ed, and he's got Catherine there with him. I think that's her name, his wife, barely in the movie, but I think the daughter is in the movie more than she is.
Yeah. I mean, what could possibly ruin this moment for him? Right. And there you have it.
Yes, he's had his moment of triumph. Yeah.
He's finally got it. Well, he didn't finally get it to work. He thinks he finally got it to work, and it's beautiful. And
I mean, I think Homer Simpson definitely owes a lot to Clark Griswold, because that moment of him lighting up the tree, I mean, it's basically like, for Homer though, his display is absolute garbage, and then you look next door to the Flanders, and there's Flanders with crazy amounts, and they probably are all synced up to music and all that kind of stuff. Hidely ho, neighbor, that kind of stuff. And it's but so Clark being able to succeed, but it is one of his few moments of triumph. He does actually have a few in this movie, which is surprising that he gets his bonus or is supposed to get his bonus, that the lights actually do come on, that it ends up being a decent Christmas for him. I mean, it's I don't think it's a mistake that they're playing It's a Wonderful Life on TV at the beginning, because it's kind of that moment towards the end, with Zuzu's pedals and all that stuff, where it's like, all right, God bless us, all of it, and the whole thing of like him at the end, like the final line, I did it. Like he has succeeded. This is like the one time where Clark Griswold like really comes out on top. This is the summer of Clark.
Yeah, and it's nice to have that in, I mean, it's fun when everything goes wrong and blah, 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 but
and that might be why they cut the final scene that I was talking about. There's two final scenes. After his moment of triumph, everyone's going to bed and everything's good, having visions of sugar plums dancing in their heads and all that stuff. And then he ends up seeing, what's the dog's name? Snots. And Snots gives him a very, let's say, longing look, and ends up humping his legs for the end of the movie. And he basically just accepts it. Clark is just like, okay,
let it ride out.
Yeah, you gotta let him finish. Come on.
Well, that's what Cousin Eddie said. When he gets started, just let him finish.
And then there is a post-credit scene. I recently watched a video on YouTube about post-credit scenes and how Marvel's ruining the world because of post-credit scenes. Oh my God, call the police. There was supposed to be a post-credit scene where the way, I think it's in the movie, the way that the explosion jettisons up the sleigh and reindeer, and you see them up in the sky burning and everything. Well, you get to see when they come down, and they come crashing down on Todd and Margot's bedroom, of course, as they're wishing each other Merry Christmas and holding each other. So,
of course it does.
Yeah, and Nick Fury showed out there at the end.
Exactly.
The vacation initiative.
Yes. We're going to put you in vacation to Cousin Eddie's Island or whatever.
Cousin Eddie's Island Adventure. God.
Island Adventure.
Yeah, yes. It is. It's an affront to what one would consider, again, comedies in the mid 2000s were, I don't know, with the advent of DVD, from changing to VHS to DVD, a lot of things that really had no right in being as popular as they are got really popular. So there was a possibility that Christmas Vacation 2 might just, stumble into being a fun movie. That's not what happened, though. Like, I think of a movie like Grandma's Boy that came out, literally nobody saw it in theaters, but it had a massive lifespan on DVD because of the advent of DVD. And I think that's what they were trying to do with that movie. I watched some clips from it. I have seen it. I actually own it on DVD, which is, again, not a thing anyone else should be doing. But I bought it from, it was either a Blockbuster or a Hollywood Video that was closing, because it's in the packaging of one of those stores, that certain plastic slipcover. And when you open the box, it's like I said, it's either Hollywood Video or Blockbuster, but it's not a good movie. And again, this movie, I don't know how you would make a sequel to this movie without just doing the same thing again and just calling it Vegas Vacation. So that's why I don't even understand why did the world need a Christmas Vacation sequel that has nothing to do with Christmas, that's then set on an island and it doesn't have Clark Griswold in it. Right, exactly.
Is it because Rusty always says we should have gone to Hawaii? Is that why they do it?
No, I think
he says it in the first movie and says it in this one.
I think to Mike's point, it's probably just the money of it all.
Yeah, it looks like it was made for about $1.58, so it's very, very cheap looking. It kind of reminds me of another National Lampoon property that what was it, Club Dread?
No, that's not Club. That's Broken Lizards.
That's Broken Lizards. Isn't there another there's another National Lampoon Island Vacation one though, isn't there?
Well, there's a lot of those. In the mid 2000s, they were just making all kinds of movies and throwing the National Lampoon's name on it.
Wilder,
Van Wilder's fun. Van Wilder 2 is fun.
Van Wilder is very fun. I will completely agree with that.
Right. It's like one of the best things Ryan Reynolds did at that time. In a lot of ways, he's been playing that character since.
Oh boy.
But there were a lot of National Lampoon stuff that came out in those 2000s, the 2000s to the 2010s, that were just awful. not
Like National Lampoon's The Beach Party at the Threshold of Hell from 2006.
I wish that was a real movie.
It is a real movie.
That's-
Chris. I'm not making
It sounds like you put it into Chat GPT because of the
No.
specific line from Christmas Vacation, the Threshold of Hell line.
Oh yeah, no. There's also there's a great thing called National Lampoon Presents RoboDoc. That's RoboDoc, which should not be confused with the documentary about RoboCop. This is about a robot doctor. So yes,
Right.
that one came up
Sounds
quite a bit.
delightful.
Yes, yeah.
National Lampoons, everybody, making quality films.
Mm-hmm.
Since when? The cutoff is Christmas Vacation, I feel.
Animal House, yeah. Animal House to Christmas Vacation, maybe. Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, I
Actually, I take it back. Loaded Weapon is in there.
Yeah, I was about to say, I like at least parts of Vegas Vacation. It does check a box more that this movie does, which is we go somewhere. And boy, the vibe of 90s Vegas is strong with that movie, which was the every family must go to Vegas. Families are welcome in Vegas, which was like the strangest thing ever.
So strange, yeah.
Yeah. So I would say probably the National Lampoon's movies stopped being good after Vegas Vacation, which is the last, again, quote, mainline vacation movie before we get that, again, reboot that just calls itself Vacation, not National Lampoon's Vacation, just Vacation. So yeah, I don't know if 20 years from now we'll still be talking about Christmas Vacation as much.
We will.
You think so? I think that I think that other things will replace it. Like I think things like Elf, things like I don't know.
You're right.
Other contemporary things come out that I think people are more interested in, and like the anachronisms in this movie are going to kind of fall even further out of like favor.
People aren't going to remember what Sassy Magazine is very much, but I mean,
smoking cigarettes indoors.
I remember Sassy Magazine. I never looked at it with a flashlight under covers. I did find it that sexy. It wasn't a Maxim because Sassy was actually pretty good and did some good journalism. But I think you're right because unfortunately, Uncle Joe and David aren't getting any younger. They're kind of like the people that I know that love this movie. So yeah, maybe once this older generation passes away, I mean, but I'm still holding out for like, the A Christmas Story. Like that's my Christmas movie.
Yeah.
When it comes to these, but I know Christmas Vacation is a lot of other people's Christmas movie. But yeah, to your point, Chris, I don't know if young people are watching this one as much. Maybe.
I
don't know if they connect with it.
Yeah, I wonder that as well. I ask, during the holiday time, I think we talked about it last year when we did some of Richard's stuff, like what are holiday movies that people care about? And I would always kind of ask the people in my life that last year. And this movie came up a lot. I mean, this is not just a movie that I've watched a lot, and it's not just a movie that Mark has seen a fair amount of times. It's a movie that again, it has a cottage industry surrounding it. Really does, of like things that you can buy, merchandising, t-shirts, all kinds of stuff. And like, not just at the holiday time. I mean, there are just some movies from the 80s and 90s that are merchandised to hell. And this is one of them, just like Ghostbusters, just like Caddyshack. I'm trying to think. There are like a couple other movies that are just like merchandise to hell even now. Like, where's the airplane merchandise, right? Like, where's the Naked Gun merchandise? But I can tell you all the Christmas Vacation merchandise that I'll see at Marshall's and Home Goods at the holiday time because they're going to have a fuck ton of it because they always do. And that's the Christmas of it all. And I think maybe that's where this like has the chance to stick it out is because it is a Christmas movie. So the argument against can also be the argument for. But this movie, like I could also see people just being like, I'm sick of this fucking movie because I see it every year and am bombarded with constant stuff, even in 2025 from this movie. Like you said, Mike, like you hadn't seen it until now.
Yeah. My wife was so not happy with me watching this movie. She's like, I was like, what did David and Joe show it too much during the holidays? She's like, no, I've seen it before. I'm like, how many times? Oh, once. I'm like, oh, wow. And you're already sick of it. Like, oh, okay.
It's not a perennial classic like Home Alone, maybe since that was the very next year. They're very close in, time as far as when they were made. And I don't think it is stuck like that as far as people's annual viewings, maybe. But yeah, I mean, Chris has a good point. You do you don't see Home Alone merch, do you? I mean, there's been bobbleheads and
there's
stuff.
And there's like a Lego set. There's a Lego set of the house, but I mean, in terms of like,
nobody
I don't
buys
socks. Yeah,
No, the big souvenir from that is that
Wally World cups or whatever.
There was that cameo in the second one, and I think that guy in the cameo ended up being like doing other stuff. There's a guy with that orange hair. The kid asked some directions.
He's the best actor in the second movie. I heard he's in the best scene, the greatest scene, the only scene worth watching in the entire film.
Can I talk real quick about the music for this movie? How surprised it was by Angelo Badalamenti. Yeah, had probably already started working with Lynch at this point. If not, it was very soon. Okay.
No, he did Blue Velvet. So.
Right. I really think of the renaissance of, Twin Peaks and Industrial Symphony and Hotel Room and those kind of things. But yeah, that's right. He had done the score for Blue Velvet. And then pretty good music here. Though the music when Clark is sledding, I'm just like, what the fuck is this? It was like the weirdest music for me. I was like, this doesn't really fit. And I have to say, I never thought I'd be saying this out loud, but I kind of miss Lindsey Buckingham, like that Staples song or wherever it is from the beginning and end. I'm just like, this really isn't hitting me. I mean, I'm sure this was hitting it for somebody. This probably worked for someone, but not me.
Yeah, it's all right. I think they were really pushing for that Christmas, anthem type thing that would be perennial for people. I like the Ray Charles song in there.
That is good. Yeah.
And I was surprised. I'm like, oh yeah. When they started playing, I was like, oh yeah, I remember always enjoying this when it comes on. I mean, I don't think I've heard the song at any other point, but yeah, Angelo, didn't he do, Chris, am I mistaken? Didn't he do the score for Parenthood?
I think so. Sounds
right. Yeah. Because I think
that movie, I haven't seen it forever, but I remember liking it a lot.
Yeah. Chris and I did an episode on it for my show a while back.
A long time ago.
Yeah. Fantastic. Speaking of Randy Quaid, I mean, if you want to have Randy Quaid as a lead, that's how you go, man. One fucked up weirdo.
Wait, parent?
No, it's talking about parents.
Parents.
Yeah. Parents. I was about to say, like, wait a second. Parents. Yeah, parents.
Yeah. I'm like, where? What? Randy
it's a
Quaid?
Second title I've screwed up. Yeah. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Okay, now I have to look up who did Parenthood, the soundtrack. But yeah,
no, you're sorry. Right. Yeah.
No,
Parenthood is a good movie too.
Parents.
Parents. Yeah. I was talking about Parents, but Parenthood is a fun movie too. But
Parents is a good Randy Quaid performance as well. But I think again, like it's more of like the sinister that this lacks, and I think in a lot of ways, like that's I don't know. Randy Quaid's kind of been playing this character since The Last Picture Show. Like again, just like a good old boy, but to what level of good old boy? Yeah, common clay. A moron.
He's kind of that in Last Detail, even.
Yeah, I mean, one of the only things he's not is the Freaked. He's like he's literally the ringmaster in Freaked, but he's still kind of an idiot in Freaked. Like I don't know. Randy Quaid has
Independence Day too.
Yeah, well.
Oh God, yeah.
So much of my online life has been tied to the name that I use online to play video games, which is Eagle 20 Fox 2, which comes from a scene with Randy Quaid in Independence Day. Like I don't know, something about Randy Quaid. His performances are, I would say naturalistic is probably the word I would use. I just don't know if he's ever playing a character, or if he's just not playing himself. And, good or bad, I don't know.
He used to do on Twitter.
Starfuckers, baby.
Oh my God.
I remember those. Those were some wild. I've never thought I want to see Randy Quaid's ass, and I've seen it. Old man Randy Quaid's ass.
Yeah. Give me the Last Details, Randy Quaid's ass, but not this one. Oof. Yeah. And that big fucking beard that he was wearing, it just looks like a homeless prophet.
Just like Jesus, Mike.
That just reminds me of the other thing that tickles me is when he touches that, I don't know what that whirligig thing is, that mobile, and it just immediately falls apart.
Honestly, for me, touch. The thing that we haven't talked about enough, I feel like, is Grace. Grace died years ago.
Man,
fucking William Hickey is just unhinged in this movie.
So good. He's always so good.
Yeah. He's in a movie with is he in that movie? Peter Fonda, and is it 92 Degrees in the Shade? Is he in there? Am I thinking of that movie?
It could be, yeah.
And like even back then, that was I think in the 70s. It's like, oh man, He's been old forever.
He's been, oh yeah, we talked about him. I think he's in Wise Blood, the John Hughes film.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, and he looks so incredibly old in that, even though, and he's like, what they say, I was reading in the trivia, he's like 20 years younger than the woman that played Betty Boop, the grandmother or the aunt, I should say. And it's like, oh, well, sure doesn't look it. I mean, especially when he's got the bald cap and the toupee and everything. I was like, that's nice. I'm trying to remember, there's one line that makes me laugh a lot. I think it's when they're having dinner, and it's not the line of, barking on a bone or whatever, which I've heard of I don't know how many times.
Oh, yeah, yakking on a bone.
Yakking on a bone, thank you.
Yakking on a bone. I was just yakking on a bone.
Clark is he talking about like aliens or something? And then Eddie's like, really, Clark? And like, just Clark's reaction to that is great.
I think the movie for me really succeeds when it's Chevy Chase and Randy Quaid on screen together. And obviously, I mean, it's the dichotomy between the two characters, and obviously also, I mean, again, shitters full, stuff like that. The snobs versus slobs of the movie, I do appreciate. Yeah. Like, I'm glad that there is some of that Caddyshack-ness to the movie of having, kind of, you have Cousin Eddie back, and like you can have a built-in like pressure point there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this might be controversial, but I think this is probably my favorite vacation movie. For me,
I don't think that's controversial.
It's
like a lot of people's favorite.
But the problem is like the original Vacation's also really good. So it's like,
I don't know if I like it more than the first one or not. Oh boy, that's tough. But
see, it's, the first one's really good. It's like there are parts of that first movie, I was quoting it as recently as yesterday. He kept up for about 25 miles and then his little legs gave out. Like, I quoted that movie as recently as yesterday. Like, I don't know. Like, the problem with these vacation movies, at least this one and the original one, is I think they almost both make a case for like needing, like, this is the 1B to that movie's 1A. And then Vegas and European are kind of like the, offhand ones, like, oh, you like Vegas Vacation maybe, or you like European Vacation. But I think these two, the original and this one, are the only ones where it's like, I think you could make a case that these are like, comedies that will continue, hopefully, to stand the test of time, maybe. Because again, traveling with your family in the summer and traveling to be with your family over the holidays are two things that people are still doing up until now. So, until they take that away too.
I mean, that is a real tradition of these Christmas movies, is we're going to visit my family. But it's usually the protagonist is the son or the daughter, we're going to visit my family for Christmas kind of thing. So this idea of people coming to them is kind of different, and you don't see that all the time. So, yeah, I mean, I can complain and be like, oh, well, they shouldn't have called it vacation, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, it's different.
The vacation for someone.
Well, I think that's how
way better than some other Christmas movies like Mixed Nuts. I think that's probably one of my least favorite of all time. Or what was that one with Robert Downey Jr. and Jodie Foster? Do you guys remember that one? Home from
is that what it is? Isn't it like a dark comedy one, kind of?
Yeah.
I like the edge of the first film, I think, more than there's no real edge in this one.
No, that's
going backtracking to that point. Like I like I like that it's a little raunchy and stuff. So.
It was directed by Jodie Foster. It was Holly Hunter as the main character. So my bad.
I'm with you, Begley. I think that the first movie's edge, I think, is what this movie is lacking. But I also think it's probably allowed to not have it because it's a family thing. But I wish it had it.
It's a holiday film, So what
it can't be as mean, I guess. Which seems, I don't know, that's kind of a bummer in my mind, kind of a missed opportunity, because they kind of pull back on Chevy Chase. I mean, again, they pull back on him being as bad as he is in Vacation. Like, he's bad in Vacation.
Right. He's an idiot. And I just wanted to point it out. I was correct about William Hickey being in 92 Degrees in the Shade. And if you haven't seen that movie, you should fucking see it. It's crazy.
I gotta see that movie. I think I own it, but I haven't ever watched that.
Directed by the guy that wrote Rancho Deluxe, which is another amazing movie with Jeff Bridges and who's his partner in that? The guy from Law and Order.
Jerry Orbach?
No. Sam Waterston, Harry Dean Stanton, and 92 Degrees in the Shade, though, is crazy. And William Hickey's great, and Burgess Meredith's in it, and Warren Oates. Just a wacko movie. Fucking great. Anyway,
real quick, I wanted to say the whole thing with the crazy aunt and wrapping up her cat or Jello molds.
She wrapped up her damn cat is a great line.
I mean, it kind of reminds me of some of my relatives where it's like for years I was getting used books from one of my relatives. I was just like, quit giving me your garbage. Like, I appreciate the idea of giving books, but also it was like, hey, listen, I've known you for 20 years now. Maybe you should know my taste and stuff. The stuff you're giving me is just, it looks like cast-offs from the bargain table at the library. I really don't need this in my life. Thank you very much. Like, you can't give me used books as your main gift to me. That's more of here's a brown paper bag. I'm bringing it with me to Christmas. Go through it and pick out any books you might like. That's how you do it. You don't give used books as a Christmas gift. I'm just putting that out there.
If your family's listening.
Some backed up, trauma there.
Jeez Louise.
I've gotten stuff where it's like, yeah, I know you got this last year from somebody and you've just had it in your house for a year and now you're giving it to me. So thank you. Thank you for the remote caddy that doesn't fit on our couch.
Again, wow, another oddly specific thing. Jesus Christ, guys.
You got me a VHS rewinder? Oh, how grateful I am. Thank you.
Wow. You guys have a lot of unresolved trauma we're dealing with right here on this episode of the show. Lots of Christmas gifts that were pissing people off.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Well, I mean, isn't that the whole thing about this movie? Like, that's the whole point of the movie. Like, the holidays are just yet another opportunity to be disappointed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like Clark cutting into that turkey. I mean, how disappointing is that?
I hope it tastes half as good as it looks. And then it's
another one of those beats that kills me every time. Just perfect.
Oh, yeah.
The way it opens up.
Disgusting prop I've ever seen in my life. Just the shit inside that looks like almost spider webs or something.
Yeah, the sinewy,
and then everybody chewing on it.
Yeah, and you hear the
gristle
crunch. Yeah.
Chevy Chase's face when he's like I don't know what he's doing, swishing the turkey around in his mouth or swishing water around in his mouth to get rid of the taste of the turkey.
And then when he eats the Jello that's got the cat food in it.
Yes. Yeah.
We get some good Chevy Chase mugging in this movie. A couple. Oh yeah. Good momentary mugging moments for sure with Mr. Chevy Chase.
Like I said, I think it's probably his best performance. And of all these movies we've watched, I'm like, okay, yeah, you're nailing this role. And I appreciate that.
He is present. I think
absolutely.
Begley, you said it best. Like, he really is more present here than he has been in fucking most things we've seen. And, some of the things I can't exactly blame him for not being present for, like
Caddyshack 2
or Funny Money this, however, like, I'm glad he showed up for this because this is worth showing up for. This is that good. I mean, it has its problems, but I think that the quotability outweighs what problems this movie might have overall. And I think the movie has kind of shown it, it has escaped the gravity of, the National Lampoon's name. And I think it's become a Christmas movie now, which I think is more important for it in terms of longevity, would be for it to be seen as a Christmas movie, less a National Lampoon's movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. It's not. The National Lampoon isn't front and center even on the posters, really.
No.
It's kind of,
no one even calls it National Lampoon. This is called Christmas Vacation. You know what I mean?
It's in between the poster, at least the main poster with him being electrocuted. It's in between his name and the title of the movie. So it's kind of like, it's not that important. The other ones, it's right on top of the title.
Right.
National Lampoon's Vacation, National Lampoon's European Vacation. It's not on there at all for Vegas Vacation. So
the line that I was talking about before, it was when he says, I heard on the news that a pilot spotted Santa's sled on its way from New York.
Really, Clark?
Where Randy Quaid is just like, what?
Yeah. and then he looks at him like, fucking really, man? Like,
or him trying to figure out how to fold his hands.
Oh yeah.
When they're gonna say their prayer.
Yeah, I love those little things like, oh, I'm putting in a pool. I can't swim, Clark. I know Eddie.
I know, yeah. He has the best, like the throwaways are the best. And you know, we mentioned him, but we didn't really talk about him a whole lot. Juliette Lewis and Johnny Galecki.
Yeah.
Big Bang Theory's own.
Oh shit, that's
Yeah,
what that is. Okay.
Yeah, literally the fucking whatever, I forget, Leonard from Big Bang Theory. He never has to work again. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, hey,
ever.
good for him.
Yeah, right. Good for him. Good.
Saw him on a commercial though last night with her. They're on a commercial together, acting like they're husband and wife. And I'm like, oh, hey, I just watched
him and Juliette Lewis.
No, him and the girl from Big Bang Theory.
I was going to say that.
Kaylee Cuoco.
Yeah, Kaylee Cuoco. I don't remember what her name is.
But obviously, Juliette Lewis, Nepo baby, but probably one of the better Nepo babies. I mean, coming from
who would know? I mean, how many people even know she's a Nepo baby, right? Who knows Jeffrey Lewis?
Fletch Lives.
Who knows Jeffrey Lewis in this world? You know, is like, I mean, I know the three of us do, but I think by the time.
Big thing for her. I mean, like before, she was in Meet the Hollowheads and My Stepmother's an Alien, but like 1989, I mean, she was kind of up there with like Parker Posey as far as like Queen of the Indies, you know, and like Queen of the mainstream stuff too, like Natural Born Killers and California. I mean, she used to be in some of my
Fear.
Oh yeah, What's Eating Gilbert Grape? Yeah, Cape Fear was really what put her on the map. Holy shit! Yeah. I mean, that was 2 years after this. I mean,
and I know that I had seen all those movies you just mentioned before I saw this because I was surprised when I saw her introduction for me was Cape Fear. And then I saw California Theater. I saw Natural Born Killers in the theater.
Yep. What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
I didn't see that in the theater, but I saw it, you know, when it came out on video. And so I had
stuff. I was seeing California, Romeo's Bleeding. I didn't see Husbands and Wives. She's fantastic in Husbands and Wives too. What was the other? I mentioned Mixed Nuts earlier. She was in Mixed Nuts. I saw it at the fucking theater. How was I able to go see all these movies during the 90s when I was in college? I guess it was because I was working at a movie theater.
Hey, yeah. And
Strange Days, From Dusk Till Dawn. Fuck. And then
From Dusk Till Dawn. Jeez Louise.
Her magnum opus, The Other Sister. Oh, the heavens open up.
I know I had seen her in all those before I ever saw this because I was like, oh my God, she's in this. This must have been one of her firsts or whatever. And then him I didn't recognize until years later seeing it and going, oh, you know, it's the Big Bang Theory kid. But at the time that I saw it, I don't think I knew who he was. But yeah, that just, I think reinforces my personal theory that it's just kind of a goof that they do, that they constantly recast the kids, especially with Randy Quaid mentioning his kids from the first film being older.
Ted says I'm the best kisser. Yeah. I always get Johnny Galecki and you guys remember Men in Black 3? Did anybody watch that movie? The space alien that knows the future. I think he was also in
the guy from a Serious Man.
A Serious Man. Michael
Schulbarg. Yeah. He's Doctor Strange's friend in the MCU movies. Or he is mad. He's like mad at him. And remember in Multiverse of Madness, they're like sitting in the audience together. He's like, both of my cats died. And he's like, oh yeah, I lost people too. Like, which was a really weird scene. So you get Michael Stolbarg and Johnny Galecki confused.
I do.
They kind of look like one another. Yeah.
I think it's the shape of their jawline or something. So yeah, I don't know why that is. But when I was watching Men in Black 3, I was like, oh, it's that dude from the Big Bang Theory. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No.
Johnny Galecki, baby. Yeah, I love that.
I mean, Schulbarg is fantastic. Everything I see him in, he's always so good.
I don't know Johnny Galecki for anything other than this. You know what I mean? Like, it's this and Big Bang Theory, and that's it.
He also reminds me a little bit of Dan Levy for some reason. Maybe it's the eyebrows.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That I can see. Yeah.
No, but I kind of want to keep talking about this movie just in order to delay us having to watch the next movie we're going to be talking about, because I'm dreading the next episode. I was actually looking forward to seeing National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation just because it is so much the part of the popular culture, but Nothing But Trouble, fuck me.
That's fuck you, fuck me, fuck all of us. Because I've already done an episode on it, guys. I'm going back to
curious about it. I'm very curious about it.
You there?
No, my my co-host on Cambridge and with Sean he keeps asking I'm like, dude, we haven't even recorded it yet. And once we record it, it's going to be another 6 months before it comes out. So he is anticipating it.
The Cambridge 2 Year with Sean?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm not sure who's who.
Show, right?
I'm not sure which one of us is which.
Yeah. All right, Cambridge with Sean.
Put in your badge, Miss Sean. Yeah. Give me your badge and your ID.
He can't wait.
Sean.
So we got at least one person anticipating that episode.
Well, we're going to be joined by Father Malone on that episode, who will probably spend part of his time defending the film.
I'm sure he will.
I'm looking forward to finally watching it, but I have a feeling this is going to be one that I chunk up over a week.
I think it's going to be one where when we get back on the next episode, when we talk about 1991's Nothing But Trouble, Mark's going to go, I don't want to record with you guys anymore.
I'm done.
I'm done. I'm not just done. I'm fucking done. Thank you very much. But we will be joined.
I've come close a couple of times.
Yeah, we know. That's why we kept tempting the man. Send for the man. Don't tempt him. Don't tempt him. Oh my God. But yeah, until then, until we come back and talk about 1991's Nothing But Trouble, where can people find you and the things that you work on, Mark Begley?
You can find my two shows, Wake Up Heavy and Cambridge and with Sean, over on weirdingwaymedia.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
Mike White, writer of The White Lotus. Where can people find you?
Well, you can find most of my work on HBO, which is now called Max. And we've changed our color scheme now from blue and white to kind of a gray, which is really catching that Roku screen. I mean, I mentioned Parker Posey. Parker and I have had a great time shooting that last season. So yeah, just check me out there. Don't forget that Chuck and Buck is still available on DVD.
And if you want to check out what the other Mike White does, he does a podcast called the Projection Booth Podcast. The guy that you're often confused for, Mike White. The guy who does the podcast.
Myself.
Yeah, we're all confused. You can find me at weirdingwaymedia.com, where all the podcasts I work on can be found. But more importantly, the shows that I don't appear on can be found, like 80s TV Ladies, like Projection Booth, like Cambridge and Rashawn, Wake Up Heavy, Midnight Viewing. I could continue, but you should take the opportunity to just go over there and look and listen to some episodes of Weirding Way Media's audio offerings, because it is something that a lot of us spend a lot of time doing. And we're here for you. We make the content for you. It's not like we don't enjoy watching movies. That's the secret. We actually hate watching movies. So we're letting you in on it. If you stuck around to the end of this episode, now you know the truth. So, I kid. We'd be doing this even if nobody listened, which is, possibly also the case.
I mean, that's
I don't think we have too many listeners for this one.
Well, I don't want to downplay it.
It's doing pretty good.
Yeah, it's doing pretty well. All of a sudden, Mike White is the Richard Haddam of this show, where nobody listens to this thing. God, where have I heard that before? As always, like, rate, and review this show on iTunes. Like, rate, and review any content you get. Interact with content creators, be it either on Patreon or on iTunes or YouTube, wherever you get your content. Interact with the content creators, because they appreciate it. They being us, because we're part of that group of people. So we'll be back next month to talk about Nothing But Trouble and round the bend on the last kind of handful of movies for the Chasing Chevy Chase podcast.